弥陀佛，迎师祖的法师，请尽速至密坛列队排班。迎师祖的法师，请尽速至密坛列队排班。阿弥陀佛。 阿弥陀佛，这里是台湾雷藏寺，欢迎来自世界各地的贵宾、同门、善信大德以及弘法人员前来护持圣尊今天主坛的红财神护摩大法会，也欢迎网络上的同门收看。法会即将开始，我们默念根本上师心咒，祈请传承大加持。阿弥陀佛。 法会即将开始，手机请关机或调整为震动静音模式，谢谢大家的配合。
At the Tribuddha School Taiwan Temple, the Ganapati or Ganesh Homa fire offering ceremony has now begun. We are inviting the assembly to please stand up, and together we will be welcoming our lineage root guru, the founder of Tribuddha School, Shimu Rinpoche, and the assembly of masters to enter into the ceremonial hall. Will be reciting the root guru mantra. Inviting our lineage root Guru, His Holiness Living Buddha Lian-Sheng, to make an offering of incense. Great homage using visualization for Root Guru and all Buddhas. Visualize full prostration on the ground. Release the mudra. Second to all bodhisattvas. Visualize full prostration on the ground. Release the mudra. Third to all Hirukas and Dharma protectors. Visualize full prostration on the ground. Release the mudra. Fourth tapa. Inviting the Supreme Dharma King, His Holiness Living Buddha Lian-Sheng, to ascend to the Dharma throne. Inviting Simu Vajramasa Lian-Sheng to take the Dharma seat. Inviting Rinpoche and the Dharma Masters to take the Dharma seats. Inviting all the reference, our distinguished guests, and everybody to please be seated. First of all, we would like to extend the warmest welcome to the Dharma King, His Holiness Living Buddha Lian-Sheng. We would also like to extend warm welcome to Simu Vajramasa Lian-Sheng, and to Rinpoche and all the Dharma Masters, reference, our special guests, and all participants. Thank you for your participation and support in the ceremony. The offering of Hatha. Let's join our palms, and with great respect, we would like to have Vajramasa Lian-Chu to represent all of us to present the offering of Hatha to the lineage root Guru as a symbol of the highest honor.
请手结莲花藤结
Form Padma Kumara Mudra.
观想根本传承上
Visualize lineage root guru, His Holiness Living Buddha Lian-Sheng, sitting on top of our heads, radiating lights to bless us. We said the root guru long mantra 7 times to pray for lineage blessings.
Om Ah Hom Guru Be Ah He Sasa Maha Lian Sheng Xi Di Hong. Om Ah Hom Guru Be Ah He Sasa Maha Lian Sheng Xi Di Hong. Om Ah Hom Guru Be Ah He Sasa Maha Lian Sheng Xi Di Hong. Om Ah Hom Guru Be Ah He Sasa Maha Lian Sheng Xi Di Hong. Om Ah Hom Guru Be Ah He Sasa Maha Lian Sheng Xi Di Hong. Om Ah Hom Guru Be Ah He Sasa Maha Lian Sheng Xi Di Hong. Om Ah Hom Guru Be Ah He Sasa Maha Lian Sheng Xi Di Hong. 做四无量观。
Perform the visualization of the 4 immeasurables. Visualize relatives and ancestors from the father side on your right, from the mother side on your left, karmic creditors and enemies in front of you, friends and teacher behind you, and all sentient beings around you, together practicing tantric dharma and ultimately attaining Buddhahood. Wake up calling. Inviting His Holiness to set ceremonial demarcation, to bless the prayers, registration forms, homa cards, and all the offerings with Vajrapil and scepter. Recite purification mantras. Recite invocation mantra. We sincerely invoke the lineage root guru of True Buddha School, His Holiness Living Buddha Lian-Sheng, We sincerely invoke the main deity of the ceremony, Namo Ganapati, Namo True Buddha School Lineage Gurus, Namo Adi Buddha, Namo Five Dhyani Buddhas, Namo Sakyamuni Buddha, Namo Golden Mother of the Primordial Jetpon, Namo True Buddha School, 8 primary deities, Namo Taiwan temples, all Buddhas, Bodhisattvas, Herukas, Dhammapalas, Dakinis, and divinities, the Heavenly Fire God, True Buddha Assembly divinities, all Buddhas of the 3 types in the 10 directions, all Bodhisattvas and Mahasattvas. Great homage using visualization. First to root Guru and all Buddhas. Visualize full prostration on the ground. Release the mudra. Second to all Bodhisattvas. Visualize full prostration on the ground. Release the mudra. Third to all Herukas and Dharma protectors. Visualize full prostration on the ground. Release the mudra. Fourth half bow. Great mandala offering. Form the offering mudra. Visualize the offerings of the ceremony. That includes flowers, incense, lamps, teas, fruits, delicious food, mounds of rice, sweet nectars, delicious, all precious items to transform, to become innumerable, to fill the whole space. Make the offering above to the lineage root Guru, all the Buddhas, Bodhisattvas, Herukas, Dhammapalas, and divinities, all heavenly beings, and below to all sentient beings. Visualize they gladly accept the offerings. Mount Meru, 4 continents, and sun and moon transform into precious offerings for the Buddhas. May these wondrous treasures and merits purge our karma to allow for self-realization. Fourfold refuge. Visualize our lineage root Guru, all the lineage Gurus, Buddha jewel, Dharma jewel, and Sangha jewel to form great white light to empower us. Recite the mantra. Armor protection. Warm Bhaja Clubs Mudra. As you release the mudra, visualize 4 rays of blue lights on the 4 sides of the ceremony and the practitioners. May we be safe and auspicious. Inviting His Holiness to perform blessings with mala.
大众请起立。恭请圣尊金刚棒开炉结界，点起护摩。
With reference, we are inviting His Holiness to perform the ritual of opening the fire pit, to set ceremonial demarcation around it, to lit the Homa fire, to make all the offerings, and to perform mudra transformations for purifications, enhancements, magnetization, subjugation, and further deliverance. The assembly will be reciting the heart mantra of the deity of Homa today, Ganapati. Rep Jambala.
Ganapati is so hot. 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 Ganapati Soha, Ugalabati 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 Soha.
Inviting His Holiness to return to the Dharma throne. Inviting Sumo Vajra Master Lian-Sheng to take the Dharma seat. Inviting Rinpoche and the Dharma Masters to take the Dharma seat. Inviting all the referents, our distinguished guests and all participants to please return to your seats. Soha,
Yes, Bhakti is so hot. Gana 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 Bhakti Yes,
Enter into samadhi. Visualize the main deity Ganapati merges with the Homa fire, and with you perform 9 cycle Buddha breathing and enter into samadhi. Recite the mantras of the invisible deities. 36,110,500 Buddhas Amitabha with Namo 36,119,500 Buddhas with the same name and identification of Amitabha Buddha. Namo 36,119,500 Buddhas with the same name and identification of Amitabha. Merit dedication. May all uphold the Buddha, ascend to the realm of utmost bliss, repaying for full generosities from above, aiding those in the three realms below. Upon seeing the Buddha, may we transcend life and death. Like the Buddha, may we liberate all. Inviting our lineage Guru to perform the overall merit dedication. Homage to the red Jambala. Homage to the red Jambala. Homage to the red Jambala. Wholeheartedly we pay homage to the red Jambala and the 5 Dhyani Buddhas above him. We pray to the 5 Dhyani Buddhas to guide the Bardo spirits to be reborn into the pure Buddha lands. We pray to Ganapatiya to bless all participants, to increase their wealth, to increase their provisions and benefits, to enhance their good fortunes, and to increase all their gains. We pray to Ganapatiya to sprinkle sweet nectars and eradicate karmic sicknesses, to eradicate our worries and afflictions, to eradicate obstructions and hindrances. We pray to Ganapatiya to increase all of the people's good fortune and bless us with harmony, love and respect. We pray by your Vajra vow to stop all the negative affinities and all calamities and disasters, and also all the obstructions. Wholeheartedly we pay homage and pray to Ganapati to radiate light so that all who made wishes would have their wishes fulfilled. Please grant your huge blessings upon participants. May they gain benefit from their spiritual cultivation and gain radiance and improve their fruition to beautify the Buddha lands. We pray to Ganapatiya. Om Ganapatiya Soha. Om Ganapatiya Soha. Om Ganapatiya Soha. To spit all the precious items, gold, silvers, and all precious jewels, and may all of our wishes be fulfilled. O gods of the heavens, gods of the earth, may we be far from all calamities, may all calamities abandon us, let all disasters turn into dust. Please purify us, please avert all calamities, please make all enemies and enmities disappear. Recite 100 syllable mantra 3 times.
Om Pizza Sato Samaya Malu Palaya Pizza Sato Teiru Paticha Zazo Mi Pawa Sato Tayo Mi Pawa Supu Tayo Mi Pawa Andurato Mi Pawa Sawa Sati Mi Pulaya Cha Sawa Kama Sujame Chitamo Suliran Gulu Hop Ha 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 Bhagavan Sawa Tathagata Pijama Me Manja Pijibawa Mahasamaya Sato Ahum Pe Om Pija Sato Samaya Malu Palaya Pija Sato Teiru Paticha Zazo Mi Pawa Sato Tayo Mi Pawa Supu Tayo Mi Pawa Andurato Mi Pawa Sawa Sati Mi Pulaya Cha Sawa Kama Sujame Chitamo Suliran Gulu Hop Ha 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 Bhagavan Sawa Tathagata Pijama Me Manja Pijibawa Mahasamaya Sato Ahum Pe Om Pija Sato Samaya Malu Palaya Pizza Sato Teiru Paticha Zazo Mi Pawa Sato Tayo Mi Pawa Supu Tayo Mi Pawa Andurato Mi Pawa Sawa Sati Mi Pulaya Cha Sawa Kama Sujame Chitamo Suliran Gulu Hop Ha 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 Bhagavan Sawa Tathagata Pijama Me Manja Pijibawa Mahasamaya Sato Ahum Pe
观想大礼拜，一拜根本传承上师。
Great homage using visualization. First, to root Guru and all Buddhas. Visualize full prostration on the ground, release the mudra. Second, to all Bodhisattvas. Visualize full prostration on the ground, release the mudra. Third, to all Herukas and Dharma protectors. Visualize full prostration on the ground, release the mudra. Fourth, half bow. Recite completion mantra.
法会吉祥圆满，感谢圣尊为我们主坛这一场红财神护摩。
The ceremony has been completed with perfection, and we are truly grateful to our lineage Guru for presiding over this Red Jambala Ganapati Homa fire offering ceremony.
恭请根本传承
Now we are inviting His Holiness
莲生活佛
to transmit the precious Buddha Dharma teaching. Homage to the lineage Gurus. Homage to the Venerable Monk Liang. Homage to Master Sakya Zengkong. Homage to His Holiness the 16th Karmapa. And homage Master Dukdan Dorji. Homage to the three jewels of the altar. And homage to the main deity of Homa today, the 5 Dhyani Buddhas and Ganapati. Sumu, Rutan Siddhi Rinpoche, all Dharma Masters, Dharma educators, Dharma teachers, Dharma instructors, Dharma assistants, directors of temples and chapters, and all disciples present here and over the internet. And our participating VIPs today are the Chief Secretary of the Taiwan government, Mr. Zheng Peifu and Mrs. Zheng. From Academia Sinica, the Academician Professor Zhu Ziyi and Mrs. Zhu. And the council from Tainan City, Mr. Tsai Wang-Quan. And Tributary School Scholars Group and Medical Group. The Law Advisor to Tributary Foundation, Mr. Lian-Sheng. And Datuk from Malaysia, Datuk Kenneth Loy and his wife Laptin, Zheng Mei-Ting, and their daughter, Miss Lei Qian. And Grandmaster's ex-classmate, Mr. Zhu Jingshui and Mrs. Zhu. And the representative to the Council of Taipei City, Ms. Xue Huiling. And the president of the Worldwide Lotus Light Charity Society, Master Chang Ren. And the director of the Taiwan Area Lotus Light Charity Society, Mr. Li Chunyang. And a well-known host from Singapore, Miss Yiling. Producers for the Ganesh Diansang Xinten, Miss Rebecca Shiachi. And the producers for the Great Perfection Dharma Havaja Exposition and the Messages of Tantrayana, Master Lian Yu. And the host, Dharma Sister Pei Jun. And the host for Lamdre and the Sutra for Perfect Enlightenment, Master Lian He, Master Lian Jia, and Master Lian Hai.
My sister, Luceng
My sister, Luceng. And thank you to Dharma brother Chen Yun-Chang from Malaysia for his donation of 100,000 NT dollars. And to Dharma sister Gan Hui Sing for her donation of 100,000 NT dollars.
中国中博士教授团、医务团肖志介医师打斋10万
Dr.
元。
Xiao Zijie from the Tributary School Medical Group, donation of 100,000 NT dollars.
大厅拍卖行马顺忠社长打斋10万元。
President Ma Sun Zong also for his donation of 100,000 NT
大
dollars.
型还是大兴拍卖行谢谢他。
Thank you.
西恩心心行是行吧？总是行为的行，行为的行。那为什么要行为的行？为什么要注音呢？
So it's such a simple word. Why do you need to note it?
因西恩行大行行为什么要注音呢？
Seeing is very simple, so why do they need to note
应该念
it?
得出来。
So it complicate things.
拍卖行，拍卖行。Thank you for coming.
Thank you.
大家好，大家好，大家午安，大家好。
Good afternoon in
你
Taiwanese,
好，
in
大家好。
Mandarin, in Cantonese.
唔該晒。
Thank you very much in Cantonese.
愛してる。
And I love you in Japanese. I love you in Korean. I love you in Spanish.
啾咪。亚比。萨瓦迪卡，감사합니다。
In Thai. Thank you in
どうも
Korean.
こんにちは。
Good afternoon in Japanese.
Good afternoon。Selamat siang。Selamat pagi。
Good
No
afternoon in Indonesian, but not good morning.
Malam.
Selamat pagi.
No。
And not good evening either.
笨蛋。
And petang. Good afternoon
Okay.
in Malay.
这个红财神有什么歌吗？
Is there a song about Ganapati?
啊？唱一首歌给你们听好了。
So let me sing a song for you.
Sanas bonta, sanas bonta, sanas bonta, lei se se. Sanas bonta, sanas bonta, sanas bonta, lei se se. O lo te o lo te bote o lo te bote le se se a se po se o。 我是看到这个
I saw
百千万的红财神在虚空之中
millions of Ganapati dancing in the sky.
在虚空中
In the
天
sky,
线
dancing.
这个红财神本来他的姿势就是跳舞的姿势。
So Ganapati's posture is a dancing posture,
这个
and the chanting music
它配的音乐
Om Ganapati
就
Soha.
是跳舞的音乐，
That was dancing
就是
music.
印地跳舞的音乐。这一尊红财神是印度的
So
四大神
Ganapati
第四大神，
was the fourth major god in India, in
就是
Hinduism.
创造神。
The first god
大梵天
was
大梵
Lord
天
Brahma, the creator.
叫做 Dharma， 大梵天
Is called Brahma,
好，
the Brahma,
大梵天王，
Lord
是
Brahma.
这他是创造，按照印度教
And
讲起来，
he's the
他
creator.
创造了整个宇宙。
And according to Hinduism, he created
大梵天王
the whole universe and
第
all
二个
human
最伟
beings.
大的，
And the second great god,
有创造一定有破坏。
so after creation there must be destroyer.
希望
And the destroyer
希望
was
破
Shiva.
坏神，然后有创造有破坏，
And between the
当中
creation and
一定要有
destroying,
保护神，
and among them there
韦
would
斯奴
be
亚
the
韦
protector,
斯奴
and that's Vishnu, Lord Vishnu.
其中最伟大的财神就是希瓦的儿子，
And the
破
greatest
坏神的儿子希瓦。
wealth deity or fortune god is the son of Shiva, and that was Ganesh. And that was Red Jambala.
在这个
That's
印尼
Red
啊
Jambala. In
印尼
Indonesia,
或者印度
or India, people would worship Ganapati or Ganesh. At the Seattle Lei Tsang Temple, we also enshrine Ganesh or Ganapati. There are many Indians, and Seattle have become like an Indian town. Why? Because Microsoft Corporation once the US government asked Microsoft Corporation to employ more Caucasians. Microsoft in Chinese is called Weiran. Bill Gates, Microsoft Corporation. Although Bill Gates is white, but he likes to employ Indian. So Seattle is almost like an Indian town. And the ladies would be wearing a sari which is slanted, similar to the outfit worn during the time of Sakyamuni Buddha. Why do they employ lots of high-tech people from India to come to work to a Seattle corporation? Because by employing one person, it's the same as having the whole family, the whole clan coming to Seattle. So Seattle is filled with many Indian people. And why is that? Why didn't he employ more Caucasians? I don't feel comfortable saying it. What is the benefits of employing Indians? They work hard. They work hard. And second, they don't ask for promotions. Indians work hard and they don't ask for raises and they don't go on strikes. So Microsoft don't have strikes. And then if you let them go, lay out or fire them, they will not sue the boss of the company. So there are many benefits. So Ganesh is red Jambala, Ganapati, the mantra Om Ganapati Soha. At our Seattle Lei Tsang Temple, we enshrine red Jambala. It's very popular, and many Indians go to the Seattle Lei Tsang Temple, and the word spread by mouth, and 1 to 10s to hundreds, and there are many Indians coming to visit at the Seattle Lei Tsang Temple. And Grandmaster has done the Dharma transmission of Lord Brahma and also Lord Vishnu, the protector God. And also has transmitted the Dharma of Ganesh or Ganapati. So this deity is the fourth great god of Hinduism. When I visited New Delhi, one night there were lots of fireworks in New Delhi. Why? we asked and we were told that it was Ganesh birthday celebration. So the Indians celebrated and was very crazy about it. That was in New Delhi. So this deity is a well deity, and he has 4 arms, and one of his hands is holding this carrot, and the other hand is holding the carrot leaves or the carrot greens, and the other hand is holding the chanting beads, and one is holding the Vajra axe.
那么我们讲，他这个是红萝卜。
And this is a carrot. He loves to eat carrots and also radishes.
这个萝卜叶是做什么用的？
So what are the carrot greens for?
是属众生的财。
The leaves is to count the fortunes of sentient beings.
每一个叶子，每一个很小片的叶子，就是一个
tiny leaf
一个财库。
of the carrot leaves are like the wealth storage. So whatever wealth you're supposed to have, you would be given. And how many leaves given to you, that means how many like safe, like fortune safe you would have. So that tiny leaf has like 7 or 8 small leaves attached to it. So that's a tremendous amount of wealth storage. That's the greatest wealth deity. And he is the main deity for provisions. So one carrot leaves and the Vajra axe, he could subjugate, and his elephant trunk can spout sweet nectar water for purification, and the chanting bead is to chant the Buddhas. So if you ask for wealth, like just now I saw with that music, oh Ganapati, because they played like the Indian dancing music, and there were hundreds and thousands of Ganapatis were dancing over there in the sky. He was happy. They were happy, and they sprinkled lots of water, holy water. And those holy water can cure sicknesses, can perform purifications. And not only that, all the gold, silvers, all the precious jewels, and the bills, and the monies, they all were showered from the sky. So I believe this time someone will win the lottery again, the huge lottery prize, because there were so many wealth, gold, and golden eggs. So they spouted lots of golden eggs. It's true, eggs made of gold. Eggs made of true gold. A solid golden egg is about 1.5 kilos. 1 kilogram of gold is about
美金，
$45,000 US.
45000美金，一个金鸡蛋，4万5千吧。
$45,000 US.
差不多一个金鸡蛋，实心的金鸡蛋，
A solid
130万的台币
golden egg
，130万的
is
台币，
about 100.
非常
I
多
mean
的金鸡蛋，
1.3 million NT
数
dollars.
不清的。
So there were many solid gold eggs,
还有美金的
countless
钞
of
票。
them, and US
我
dollar
差
bills.
不多看了一下，
And I took a look,
2000
and
亿吧，
probably it's about
2000亿，
about what? How many
2000
zeros?
亿的美金啊，2000
一是几个洞，
美
几个零？
金呢？美金
Uh,
2000亿啊，
12 zeros.
看了一下，
12
比起来
zeros is
呢
what?
满满
Trillions?
整个我们雷藏寺
20 trillions US dollars.
淹
Wow, the whole Taiwan temple is buried by them.
那一定会有人中奖，一定会有
Someone
人
will
中奖
definitely win the huge
中奖
lottery.
了不要讲，
And please
不要讲出来，
don't
不要
announce
讲
it.
还是不要讲，
Don't make it public.
因为我这一次
Because
台湾雷藏寺，
This time
台
at
湾雷藏寺
Taiwan
有
Lei
人
Tsang
从
temple,
银行转账
someone
转进
wired
300万
some fund to the Taiwan Lei Tsang temple
200
for
万转进
2
200
million
万
NT dollars.
从银行那里转进200万给
So
台湾雷
someone
藏寺
wired
给台湾雷藏寺。
2 million to Taiwan temple.
那是中奖的同门，中了大奖的同门威力彩的同门，
So
他转了
a disciple
200万，但是他
who
只由
won
银行转进
the
来，
huge
他
lottery
不愿意
and he didn't
把
want
自
to
己的
make
名
himself
字跟
known,
转进来的这
so
个
he just
都没有讲
wired some fund to Taiwan Lei Tsang temple.
那个人他
And
都
he
没有
didn't
讲
say
只是转
who
到
that
台湾雷
was.
藏寺200万，这是我回来之前
2
他转
million
进来，
NT
可
dollars
见
to
有人
Taiwan
中大
temple.
奖这个
So
是
that means they have
上
won
次有
a
人中了
huge lottery
30
ticket.
亿吧
And before, someone won
30亿吧，
about
4个人中，其中一个是出布拉斯库的弟子，真佛宗的弟子，
30.
30亿， 30
Jeez.
亿。
Too
他
many
把那
zeros.
个中奖券要给我的钱是用丢的，师尊在那里，
And
这个
the offering that he made to Grandmaster was thrown at my table when I was
丢了一包过来，
signing a book.
他
And
不
he
要让
just
人家看是
thrown
谁，他不让
the
人家看
offering
是谁，
because he didn't
这
want
是很
to
聪
be
明的
known.
做法。
And that was very smart of him.
上一次
So,
有一个人在新加坡中
3 billion NT dollars.
是2亿，
And
2
then
亿台币
in Singapore, that was about
因为这个人
20
的身份暴露，
or 200 million
有几个上
NT
司
dollars in
跑到他
Singapore.
们那里
And she
有
made
几位上司跑
himself
到那里
known. So there were several masters following them.
其实他供养师尊的
Actually, the offering they made to the Grandmaster was not much, but it wasn't bad.
这个
They offered
30万吧，
300,000 NT dollars. That was good.
结果后来的
However, there were
居然
masters
给他拿了
going
19
after
万美金
them, and they took
一个拿19万美金
190,000 US dollars, one
好
of the
像19万
masters.
美金不知道拿了几回，我搞不清楚。
And I don't know how many
听说
times.
也有后来的，也有一个上司又
And
跟过
then
去，
there was
知道他
another master
2
that
亿
went
台币
and got
去给他要了9万美金。
90,000 US
后来的上司
dollars.
去了就
And this
减半
person only got
第一个去的
$20 million.
有福气啊，拿是$9万。第二个
So
去
the
的
first
拿了
master
$9
got 190,000 and the second one $90,000.
我早知道我30万就退回给他。
If I knew that this 300,000 NT dollars, which is about $10,000, I should just return it to them.
不过师尊跟大家讲，师尊跟大家讲。
But let me tell you, I will never do that. First,
师尊了解，
Grandmaster knows
金钱只有在世间可
that
用，
money can only
在
be
这人
used
世
in this
间
human world.
你可以用，但是在天上1毛钱你都用不着。
In the heavenly realms, it's
在
useless.
天上是1毛钱都用不着。
Even a cent of them is useless in the heavenly realms.
虽
We
然四天王
need no
他
money
的这
there.
个水晶
Although
宫、
the 4 heavenly
黄
kings,
金宫、
the crystal
白银
palace,
宫、
the gold palace, the
杂宝
silver
宫、
palace, and the
梦
precious
宫
jewels palace,
他们也都是财富的天王。
they were all
但事实上呢，
wealthy heavenly
在更
kings.
高的境界，
However, in
是完
higher
全没有。
realms, none of those
也不需
exist.
要金钱。
They have no needs for
所以我
money.
常常讲啊，
So
得
that's
到了
why
地
I
上
often say, if you
有可能会
gain
失去天上，
those from
有可能会失
the
去天上。
the earth, then it's possible that you would lose those from the heavenly realms.
那是
If you
最
have
富
gained
有
those from the
大
heavenly
的
realms
金刚
or the space, then you would be the most fortunate and wealthiest one.
不过在这里还是希望啊，因为今天是
However,
阿拉巴蒂也有
because
这个
today is
护摩
Ganapati's
希
Homa,
望每一个
I
人
wish that every one of you
至少你刮刮乐也会得奖。
will at least win some prize, even in the scratch
刮刮乐也会得奖
game.
啊，刮刮乐啊，还有很多彩票的，在台湾也有，现在也有很多彩票。
There
每
are
一个
also
人都中
many
奖。
prizes in Taiwan, and I hope every one of you would win something.
那我们今天感谢这个
So
大巴蒂
today,
这个
we are truly grateful to
台湾
Ganapati
雷藏寺
for your bestowals
所有的财富啊，所有
to
的财富
all at the Taiwan Lei Tsang Temple, all the wealth and
赐给
riches,
与会大众所有的
and
财富，
bestowed upon all participants all the wealth and
赐
riches,
给主其德更多的财富，
and bestowed upon the primary supplicants even more
赐给报
wealth
名
and
法会的
riches, and bestowed
更多的
upon
财富，
the registrants even more wealth and
赐
fortunes,
给参加法会的，参
and
加这次法
bestowed
会的
upon the
更多的财富。
participants for today's ceremony even more wealth and riches.
那没有来的没有了。
And those who are not here
正
will
在
not
看
get
网络
anything.
直播的也分给你们一点。
And those who are watching over the webcast will get some, a little bit.
告诉大家，
So let me
持
tell
这
you,
个红财神的咒的
if you
时候
recite
它
Ganapati's
结的手
mantra,
印
and the mudra that you
是
form
这个象鼻的
is
象
the
鼻财
elephant
神的手
trunk,
印
fortune god's deity, mudra.
那么祈求它降临的时候，
When you
你的两
pray
个尾指
for him to
就是象
descend,
鼻，要动一动
the two pinkies, which is the elephant trunk,
啊。
should move a little bit.
你动一动的意思，你就
Which
触
mean
动了
You're
红
touching
财神的心。
the heart of Ganapati.
后面那两个指头，
The
尾
two
指
pinkies
两个指头互相摩擦，动一动，
rub
就
against each
触动
other
了
and
红
move a
财
little
神
bit. That's to touch Ganapati's heart.
这是一个秘密哈，不要讲出
This is
去
the secret. Please don't let it out.
这个就是两个尾指互相摩
The
擦，
two pinkings rubbing against each other. 它就会触动了红财神的心， They
然
will
后
touch
呢，他的鼻
Ganapati's
子就
heart,
会吐
and then his
这个财
trunk
宝从
will
天上
spit
降下。
lots of wealth and riches from heavens.
我们有一个弟子是萨瓦迪卡的，
We
泰国
have a
泰国
disciple
的弟子
from
萨瓦迪卡
Thailand, Sawadika.
这个
The
泰国的弟
greetings
子
in Thailand.
他不是练红财神的咒，他是练勾财
She
天女的咒。
did not recite
她
Ganapati's
每天
mantra,
出
but she
去外面
recited
练勾
Manarhara's
财天女的
mantra
咒。
every
她
day.
连续中奖多少次？
She chanted Manohara's mantra and she won lottery prizes
她说
for
连续2年都
continuously
中
for
了
2
彩
years
中彩泰国的彩券，连
for
续2
Thai
年就是
lotteries
用了勾财天女的
continuously for
咒
2
跟
years
比勾财天女的
using
手
the
印
Manahara's
天天到外面去
mudra
勾。
and recite her mantra, just hooking the money every day.
我对他的印象，他请我吃饭的时候
She left a strong impression upon me when she invited us for dinner.
是一个女生，
She
个
was
子很高
a
大，
woman
个子很高
very
大。
tall
我看到
and
她的脸，她的嘴巴很大，
strong
嘴巴
built,
很大。
and she
她
has
出去外面
huge
勾她嘴巴
lips,
张开，
and she hooked and she opened
全
her
部都到
mouth,
她嘴里面，
and all the riches and the wealth
连续
fell
2
into
年
her
哦。
mouth continuously
你还
for
记
2
得她的名
years.
字吗？
Do you remember her name?
她的名字很难念，
It was very difficult to
有
pronounce,
没有？
right?
你要找。既然中彩连续
And she
每个
won
月都中，每个月都中
prizes
一年
every
12
month.
次2年24次，
So
每
12
一次都中
times
奖。
a year, 24 times for 2 years, and she
今天
won
这个
every
红财神
time.
也是一样哦，
And for Ganapati today, it's the same.
巴拉巴蒂也是一样。嘴巴大的有福气，
If you have a big mouth,
跨
you're
嘴
lucky.
假细风，阔嘴吃十方吧，
So
阔
you
嘴吃
you
十方
will eat
跨嘴
all
假
kinds of delicious
四
food
风啦，四风。
if you have big mouth.
那很好啊，太棒了！今天的这个红财神，
So
太棒了。
Ganapati's today is just truly marvelous. It's wonderful.
你看我听到的歌，
When I heard the music,
山那是蹦哒，山那是蹦哒嘞谁谁，山那是蹦哒，山那是蹦哒，山那是蹦哒嘞谁谁，哦罗的哦，哦罗的罗的哦，哦罗哈达的谁谁，哦谁哦谁哦。好啦，高兴的时光很快就过去了。
okay, the happy
好，我
moment
们
is
讲一下道果。
passes very fast. Now let's talk about Lamdre.
普系注因得观串习道，现起见解受中气验相，能显即色6种现 前果。此一共一不共金刚记。上师口诀善加以修饰，所作
dwelling on the castle to obtain chains of empowerments and familiarity with the path, starting on this path while we attain spiritual experiences, and seeing the extremely attracting 6 kinds of preliminary fruits, the following common and uncommon Vajra verses. The key formulas are added by the gurus to clarify, and the numerous clarifying detailed exposition. Through the study of oral instruction and explanation of the Holy Ones, the collection is distilled into the fifth instruction. So, after receiving empowerments, in Lamdre, after receiving the 4 empowerments of Lamdre, and you chain together the 4 empowerments. How do you chain them together? The 4 empowerments from the outer empowerment, the inner empowerment, and the secret empowerment, and the higher secret empowerment. They are called the 4 empowerments, which are also the vase empowerment, the white and red flower empowerment, touch empowerment, and the great perfection empowerment. They are the 4 empowerments. First from the outer tantra, and from the first level, which is the yoga of concentration. On the second level is the yoga of renunciation. The third level is the yoga of one taste, and the fourth level is the yoga of no practice, the great perfection. Of course, for the 4 sects, Kagyupa, Yamantaka, Nyingmapa, great perfection, Kagyupa, Mahamudra, Sakyapra, Lamdre. Lamdre, and also called the Great Supreme Wisdom. Those were the highest Dharma in all 4 sects. So Lamdre is also the highest Dharma, and you have to go through the 4 empowerments. And because you receive the empowerments, and then you chain them and study them, this path, and with the cause, and receiving the 4 empowerments, and then you chain them, and then you become familiar with the path. And by starting on this path, you will attain spiritual experience. You will be able to see the Tao, experience the Tao, the path, and then you would receive or gain spiritual experiences. That's the second statement. So you will be able to see the path, realize the path, and experience the path, and have some spiritual experiences. Most people, without studying the path, they would never know. They would never know about the Buddha nature. But once you study it, then you would experience some spiritual signs. Like typically speaking, when you dream, you would have lots of good dreams. And the realization is whatever you see is the Buddha nature. Like Ganapati just now. Like thousands of Ganapati dancing in the sky, and you can see them. And you can experience them, you can feel them. You can sense them. and also the sweet nectar water sprinkled by them, and also the wealth and the riches that they spat out. And you can experience them, you can feel them, you can receive them, you can see them. It's not made up, it's not fabricated. You can see them for sure. Why can you see the Buddha nature? Bodhidharma asked his guru, Prajnanedja, and Bodhidharma too has a guru, has a teacher, and he asked, what is a Buddha? And the Prajnanedra replied, seeing the Buddha nature, seeing the nature is the Buddha. So by seeing the Buddha nature, you will be able to attain Buddhahood. You will be able to become a Buddha. And in Tantrayana too, you're taught to see the Buddha nature. And where can you see the Buddha nature? Bodhidharma asked. How can you see the Buddha Dharma? Or the Buddha nature? Prajnanendra replied, functionally, you will be able to see it. You truly can see the Buddha nature. When you eat, you can see the Buddha nature. When you wear clothing, you can see the Buddha nature. When you stay at home, you can see the Buddha nature. When you sleep, you can see the Buddha nature. So, all functions are the functions of the Buddha nature. But most typical ordinary people will not be able to the Buddha nature because they have not seen the path, they have not realization, and they have no experiences of the spiritual signs. Except those with a mental disease. If you are mentally disturbed, you may be able to see something. Didn't I tell this joke before? Someone said that he's Mr. Chiang Kai-shek and he was hospitalized in the psychiatric ward. And then there was another person that also claimed that he was Mr. Chiang Kai-shek. Well, there were two Chiang Kai-shek, so they were locked up together. But interestingly, they became very quiet. So the psychiatrist was very curious. Why didn't they fight? So he asked the two people, so who are you now? I am Chiang Kai-shek. And then asked the other one, how about you? And he said, I am Mrs. Jiang. So he's changed. He's now become the wife of Chiang Kai-shek. So they were very quiet together. This was a joke. So if you go to the psychiatric ward, they were able to see everything. They can see God, Jesus, Maria, Matu, the Celestial Mother, Tataokong. They were all gods or Buddhas. They were all locked up together. But could they really see? They could. However, they were just phenomena of the demons. Of course, because they were mentally disturbed. They could see, they could hear, because they have some hallucinations. So they were different from the true spiritual experiences. So spiritual sign is that the human being is very clear-minded and they are very clear about it, and not those mentally disturbed patients.
在快要变成中阴，变成
And
灵
most
魂的时
people
候
at the time of death, where they are entering into the bardo
好多祖先
state,
都来了
they would be able to
这是
see
谁这个
lots
是
of
谁这个
things,
是谁
lots
他
of
会跟你介绍
their
你到了
ancestors,
医院去看他
and they would
安宁病房
introduce
去看
themselves
他的时候啊
and this and that.
哎
Or if you
刚刚
visit someone, a
你
patient in the
你
hospital,
爸爸来了，你阿公来了，
you would say like, "Oh, your dad was
老祖
here,
来
your granddad
你
was here,
您祖妈来了
your great grandma was here,
啊，老祖母来了，老祖母
or
这个
your
这个老
grandma,
爹来了，
or your dad."
他都会
All the
看得
past,
到
the
的，每一个都
deceased,
看得到的。
they could
那是
see
什么
every
现
one
象？
of them. So what kind of
那
signs
是
would that?
鹰眼，
That's
鹰眼，
like the spirit
你快要
eye,
变成
because
你
you
要
were
快要死的
about to
时候，
enter
那些
into
人
the
来迎
spirit
接
world, and you would see the spirits that come
迎
to see
接的时
you.
候不要气，最重要
And
的就
please
是
don't
一
follow
定要
them. The most important
菩萨
point here, you
来
need
接
to
引
wait
你，
for the
你才
Buddhas
跟
and
他去。
Bodhisattvas to
佛
appear
菩萨
and
来，
guide you,
一定
and only then
是
you want
真
to
正的
go
佛
with
菩
them.
萨。
And you want to be
你那
sure
时候要
that they are
念什么？
true Buddhas and
嗡
true
咕噜
Bodhisattvas.
莲生悉地吽
So you need to chant Om Guru Lian-Sheng Siddhi Hom.
你念嗡咕噜莲生
By
悉地
chanting
吽
Om Guru
念
Lian-Sheng
3遍
Siddhi Hom 3
这个
times,
假的佛菩萨马
then
上
the
就消失
fake
掉。
Buddhas and Bodhisattvas would disappear right away.
如果是真的，你念
And the
嗡咕噜
real
莲生
Buddhas
悉
and
地吽
Bodhisattvas,
阿弥陀佛还站在那里，那是真的。
Amitabha
你可以跟他
Buddha,
走
for example, would stay there by reciting Om Guru Lian-Sheng Siddhi Hom. They
你用你
remain
的
there.
念头
You use your mind
念，跟
to
他走，
recite
用你的念头进入阿弥陀佛的莲花座里面，
the mantra.
用你的念
Use your
头
mind
进
to
入阿
enter
弥陀佛的
into
心中。
Amitabha's lotus, and
就得
use
到
your
接引。
mind to enter into the hearts of Amitabha Buddha, and then you would receive the salvation and be guided
这
to
个
the
是
Pure
中
Land.
气、厌相跟接受都在这
So
里。
that's the spiritual experiences and the mission of the school.
能显即色六种现前果，
And seeing the
一般来讲
extremely
起来，
attracting
也
6
可以出
kinds
现。
of preliminary fruits.
六种这里面的所谓
Typically
六种，是眼、耳、鼻、舌、
6
身、意。
kinds
我以前
which
讲过
is
五蕴，
of the
以前在
eyes,
说法的时候
ears,
讲过
nose,
五蕴
tongue, body,
五
and
蕴
mind.
我讲成眼、耳、
In my
鼻、
Dharma
舌、
teaching
意
earlier,
啊，
there was the 5 aggregates, and I said was the eyes, nose,
以前
ears,
讲五蕴是色、身、
tongue,
香
and body.
味
No,
触
that's wrong. Actually,
啊，色、身、香、味、
the
触
form,
是吗？
body,
啊不，no no no no，
smell,
又是错的。
fragrance, and touch. No, that's wrong.
色、受、想、行、识
是
才是
yeah.
五蕴。
The 5
五蕴是
aggregates
色、
are the
受、
form,
想、
perception,
行、识，这是五蕴，
thought,
这是五蕴
consciousness,
啊，这个是五
and
蕴。
volition.
那么六种现
Those
前
were
果
the 5 aggregates.
就是你的果
So
位
the
啊，
6 kinds of
你现前果
fruits would appear.
果位会现在你的面前，
So the
果位会
fruitions
现
will
在你的
appear
面
in
前
front of you.
能够显出你的果位在你的面前
So
你得到什么果位了？
Your fruition
如果
that
是
you
六
gain
种
will
现前
appear
果
in
的
front
话
of you.
应该是属于
And 6 kinds of
天
them, they should be
人
belonging to the heavens,
阿修罗、
humans,
天
asura,
菩萨，
shravakas,
这是
bodhisattvas,
六种
Hood
现前
and
果
Buddhas.
你得到人
The
的果
six
位，就是你会转世
fruitions
成为人。
And if you see the fruition of the human, you reincarnate as a human being. And the heavenly realm, then you would be reincarnated in the heavenly realms. And then if you receive Sravakahood or Arhatship, you would be reincarnated as an Arhat. And then if you gain the fruitions of the Prateka Buddhahood, you would be reincarnated as a Prateka Buddha. And then if you attain the fruitions of Bodhisattvahood, you would be reincarnated as a Bodhisattva. And if you attain the fruitions of Buddhahood, then you would be reincarnated as a Buddha. Or you would attain a Buddhahood. Of course, the fruition of the heavenly realm is a small fruition, and the four saintly realms are the greater fruitions. So, the following common and uncommon Vajra verses. What is the common and the uncommon Dharma? The common Dharma and the Dharma that's secretly transmitted to you, that's the uncommon Dharma. And the Dharma that's being taught publicly over here, that's the common Dharma. And the special Dharma only taught to you specially, and or only you, that's uncommon Dharma. And the Dharma that's for everybody, that's the common Dharma. The key formulas are added by the gurus to clarify. And the meaning of this statement is the key formulas of path instructions of Virupa was very nebulous, very unclear. However, the gurus clarified. Last week, I've said there were 4 levels of gurus. First are the masters, and then Vajra masters, the great Vajra masters, and the great Vajradhara Vajra masters. And Vajra masters are also divided into these 4 levels. So the Vajra Acharya, the great Vajra Acharya, just Acharya, Vajra Acharya, the great Vajra Acharya, and the Vajradhara Vajra Acharya. So the gurus compiled and clarified. So the numerous clarifying detailed expositions. So there were many gurus who explained and expounded on the Vajra verses of Lamdre. So there were many gurus who explained and expounded these Vajra verses. And through study of oral instructions and explanations of the holy ones, so this Vajra verses of Lamdre was written by Sakya Pandita, the explanation by Sakya Pandita on the Vajra verses of Lamdre. And the collection is distilled into the path instructions. So the best, the most essential, the most marvelous Vajra verses, because the teachings of Virupa was very haphazard and nebulous, but through exposition and compilation by Sakya Pandita, they became a very clear and concise path instructions. So that's the key point here. So let me tell you, what Grandmaster teaches may not necessarily comply to the explanations of other gurus on Lamdre. So Grandmaster's exposition is based on Grandmaster's personal experiences. There are many quintessence and path instructions. Like today's Ganapati ceremony. The most important point is to have him descend, and the key is on his trunk, and the trunk can spit the sweet nectar water or all the wealth and riches. And the most important path instruction is you would be able to form this wrathful Vajra scepter mudra. This is the wrathful scepter mudra. Once you form this mudra, and then you place it on Ganapati's crown, on the top of Ganapati's crown, place it on his head, and command him by this wrathful scepter mudra, by the command of Vajrasattva, you command Ganapati to spit the ambrosia water to cure the illnesses and to spit out all the wealth and riches so that you're endowed with sufficient provisions. So this is the fifth instruction. This is the key formula. So that's the explanation of the quintessence. So Ganapati is there, and you form the wrathful scepter mudra, and then you place it on top of Ganapati's head, and please don't knock too hard. Just place it so gently, and by the wrathful Vajra scepter mudra, I bless you, Ganapati, and I hope that from your elephant trunk you would sprinkle the ambrosia water and all the riches and the wealth and bestowed upon me, and I would make good use of them for a good charity, to help sentient beings, for the body work, to help sentient beings. So that's the fifth instructions of the lineage gurus. That's how the fifth instructions are. If I don't teach you that, even after you call so long, the Ganapati did not bestow anything on you, and he left, and you didn't get anything. But if you didn't leave, if someone had left, then they didn't hear this, but you would hear if you stay here. Only then Ganapati would give you what you wish for. Like Manohara, the wealth-attracting goddess, you have to form this mudra, the hook mudra, and you need to hook outside the house. If you hook inside your house, then your ceiling would fall down. But you look up to the sky and you hook from it. And that's the fifth instruction. That's the key formula. There are many key formulas in Tantayana for each deity. So if you don't attend the ceremony today and you don't watch the webcast over the internet, then it will be rather difficult for you. Yes, it's a joke. I went to the bookshop yesterday, and I read in the book that drinking will cause hypertension, high cholesterol, and diabetes. And then when I got home, I took a glass of whiskey, and I swear never to go to the bookshop to read books anymore. So that's misleading, misguided. He should have stopped drinking instead. The last precept of the 5 basic precepts of Buddhism is to stop drinking. In the past, I drank quite a bit, and now I stopped. Why? When you start to become Buddhist, that in the past when I drank, my eyes didn't get red. But as soon as I started my Buddhist practice, as soon as I touched some alcohol, then my eyes become red. And it took about a week before it disappeared, before the redness disappeared. And then naturally I stopped drinking. Not naturally. It's because I have that redness in the eyes that I stopped. Automatically. It's best not to drink alcohol because it can lead to a lot of problems. There was a patriarch of the Bompo. Huh? And met the policeman. And he was an undercover and was beaten. An undercover was getting beaten and bruised, and he said, I'm sorry, I didn't hear. Yeah, sorry.
我们这个重要的上师传的口诀
So the important fifth instructions transmitted by the lineage root guru have to be kept secret and treasured. Please don't talk about it openly.
某一个社区大学的老人学校
there was an elderly school for elderly, and they have those who cheat. They're trying to catch those to cheat. And the problem is to have the parents of the students come. I'm sorry, I miss.
这个老人呐，老人的家长都已经走了。
Because the parents of the elderly are gone already, so they try to gather the parents of the elderly people. Can you do that? No. Most people cannot do that. But those with the open divine eyes can see. When Grandmaster was conferring or receiving the Bodhisattva vow at the Nanto Pisanyen temple, at night there were 3 precept masters. One was the Venerable Elder Shen-tun, and then the Venerable Hui-san, and then the Venerable Elder Jue-guang. 3 venerable monks who did the spirit precepts for the spirit world, for all the spirits in the spirits world. So there was such a precept. So a true Dharma master would have all the ancestors come. There were 2 events where all the ancestors would come. It's at your wedding day. All your ancestors will come. Especially when the ancestors really love you, they all come. So sometimes you would be attached by those spirits.
顾成仙呢？顾成勇、顾正普的那个，顾成运，顾成印 ，OK， 顾成印。
顾成运 ，Mr. 顾成运 ，and he was attacked by a spirit at the wedding ceremony, at the wedding party. Like when the grandchildren are getting married, the ancestors love to come and attend.
这个白事的时候，祖先也
And
会
the second event is at the
你是修行
funerals.
人，
The
白事的时
ancestors
候
will
祖
also
先到
come.
你不要跟他走，
So,
你
but
就是
please
只
don't follow
认定
them.
活菩萨才可以跟着走。
You want to follow the Buddhas and the Bodhisattvas, and you need to confirm that they are Buddhas and
跟
Bodhisattvas.
祖先走，
Please don't
那就是
follow
到阴
the
间去
others.
到阴间。
If you follow your ancestors, then you would go to the spirit world.
所以在这个上世的时候啊，上世的时候，
So at the
祖先一样到，
funerals,
也
the
很容易
ancestors
冲
would
淡
also
这
be
个原因
there.
就是在这里。
So, and it's easy for you to be attached by the spirits. 有一只丑小鸭，因为长得很奇怪， The
常
ugly
常被
duck
其他的鸭子笑，于是它伤心的离开了
had
爸爸
a
妈妈，
strange face
独自到处去流浪，
and
遇到
was
狂
often
风暴雨
ridiculed,
猎狗，
and he
但
left
丑小
home
鸭都没有畏惧，
and wandered
它
around
顽强拼
and
搏，
didn't
努
want to
力
go
学习，
home.
强壮自己。
And he
最终，
studied well
人
and
们发现
strengthened
它虽然不
himself.
好看，但还是
and
挺好吃的。
Finally,
这是一
although
个笑话啊，
he's
笑话。
ugly, but he's tasty. That
其
was a
实
joke.
每一个人
Actually, every
都有
human
他的
being
益处，每一个人都
has
有他的利益
his or her own
不
strength
因为仇
and benefits.
他就怎么样。所以不管你是
Whe-
相
not
貌很好，
whether
还是相
you're
貌很
good
丑，
looking
还
or
是扭
ugly,
曲，还是变形，还是怎么样，都有你的用处。
you have your own
我
functions.
们学佛也是一样，
It's the same in
每
our
一个
Buddhist
人都有
study.
他的益处。你虽然不
Everyone
能达到
has
最
their
高
own
深的，
strength or benefits,
还是
although
最
you
少
cannot
你的
reach
资
the
粮道方面
highest
会非
realm.
常的好，
but at
因为你有
least
资粮权
in
跟
your
你守护
resource path,
有
you
资
would
粮
be
权跟你
endowed
守护
with abundances.
好吧，我们今天就讲到这里吧。
So that's
谢谢大
all
家。
for today. Om Mani Padme.
我们再次以热烈的掌声，感谢师尊精彩宝贵的传法开示。台湾雷藏寺有以下的报告：下个礼拜2月4号法会主尊是喜金刚，2月5号下午2点钟。圣尊将亲临皇帝雷藏寺主持新春接财神水供大法会。2月11号是台湾雷藏寺新春祈福圣乐金刚护摩大法会，时间是下午2点钟，将受出家戒以及在家菩萨戒。申请的截止日期是2月5号。接下来是2月12号星期天下午2点，圣尊将至林口体育馆主持大幻化网金刚护国息灾祈福超度大法会，欢迎同门能够多多护持。有关2月份、3月份的法会公告，请参照台湾雷藏寺的网站。恭请圣尊为坛城流通处、广场、开光加持区及同门的佛像、法器、文物开光加持，加持大悲咒水，并作总加持。与会大众唱诵根本上师心咒。
唵咕噜莲生悉地吽，唵咕噜莲生悉地吽，唵咕噜莲生悉地吽，唵咕噜莲生悉地吽，唵咕噜莲生悉地。 莲生悉地吽，唵咕噜莲生悉地吽，唵咕噜莲生悉地吽，唵咕噜莲生悉地，唵咕噜莲生悉地吽，唵咕噜莲生悉地吽，唵咕噜莲生悉地吽，唵咕噜莲生悉地，唵咕噜莲生悉地吽。
恭请圣尊升法王座。
In a moment, there will be the empowerments for Ganapati or Ganesh or the red Jambala. During the empowerment, please remember to visualize the deity, to form his mudra, and to recite his mantra. This ends the English interpretation today. Thank you very much.
上师团上法座，教授师请上座。恭请根本传承上师圣尊莲生活佛赐给与会大众红财神不共法灌顶。今天的灌顶含皈依灌顶，与会大众请手结红财神手印，观想红财神放光加持，唱诵红财神心咒。
Om